Good evening, campers. I hope you're going well. This is a Sunday Ask Andy, but it's a very special one. I said that I wasn't doing weekend Ask Andys anymore, but obviously there's been a couple of things kick off, all right, in a good way for Metro Melbourne, which is amazing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to very quickly, just give you a Victorian real estate update and let you know what the state of play is at this very moment in time, what's going around, and the things that you cannot, and the things that you might be able to do, but we need some clarification on, all right? So I'm going to clear, hopefully, a couple of things up for one or two of you. Now, the best news that came out in a long, long time for Metro Melbourne is the fact that we can crack on with private inspections, which is amazing. Now, I'm just going to bring up the official lines just so that I get them absolutely correct for everybody that is watching this evening. First things first, though, I want to say a very well done to those brothers and sisters of ours in the real estate space in Metro Melbourne. Has it been frustrating? Of course it has. But I tell you now, there's a hell of a lot of you that can hold your heads high with the way in which you have handled it. Not only with regards to tenants, landlords, buyers, vendors, basically the public, the consumers, but with each other. I think on the whole, you've been absolutely amazing. So really, really well done for all the support that you've shown each other. It is a great effort and testament to how we can go when we do come together as one, which is awesome. Now, real estate inspections, private property and display home inspections allowed with one agent and one prospective purchaser or tenant. Prospective purchaser or tenant may be accompanied by one other person from an existing household or an intimate partner, and the prospective purchaser or tenant's children under 18 years old. So don't worry, you do not have to leave your kiddies in the car. If you and your partner and your children that are under 18 are wanting to go and have a look at a house, you are absolutely free to do that. Contactless, obviously, with protocols for inspections, including pre-arranged at a set time and limited to 15 minutes. So don't go hugging anyone. Don't go kissing anyone. I know you've missed seeing human beings, but please try and refrain from jumping on them. That perhaps would not be the best move in the world. And a person is not permitted to travel to regional Victoria for a private property inspection. You cannot cross the iron curtain between metro and regional. What that does mean, though, is that, and this is a common concern for a lot of people, is that purchasers can drive further than 5 kilometers for the purposes of a property inspection, be it for buying or renting. Now, gang, it doesn't say necessarily we need a permit, obviously, for all our inspections. It doesn't necessarily say that they need a permit. My suggestion to people that have asked me has been to make sure that you send your prospective purchasers or tenants a written confirmation via email that they can have to hand. Please put on there the date, the time, and the address that they are going to visit. Please do that just in case they get pulled over and then they've got some written evidence via an email that either they can have on their phone or print it out. I'd just do that as a courtesy thing. There's going to be some twitchy buyers that are really, really nervous and apprehensive about traveling further than 5 kilometers. So give them something in writing just so that they can be a little bit more sort of assured that they're okay to move forward with their moving aspirations. Okay, so that would be my advice, is to make sure that all buyers or all prospective tenants have written communication from you on an email saying the date, the time, and the address that they are to go and visit. Because the thing that we don't want to have happen is for people to take the mickey and plunge the real estate space into a bit more chaos, because there might be some smart asses that will say they're off to go do an inspection and they might not be, but then that might just put the real estate space in a bit of a bad light. So make sure that they've all got written communication. That would be my advice. Now, with regards to photography, styling, and all those sorts of things, the vic.gov.au website does say specifically that photography and styling, or things that are for the purposes of marketing a property, are allowed with one professional and one agent, right? So you're only allowed 2 people in the home. Obviously, all PPE and everything has to be worn. All surfaces need to be wiped, so on and so forth. However, the REIB have asked that we just hang fire, booking stuff in until we have exact clarification and confirmation from the powers that be. Now, if you read it, it does say that marketing services are allowed. But if it was me, I would be waiting until my governing body give us the absolute green light. That's what I would be doing if it was me. But the briefing should be getting all sorted out and everything tomorrow. So it shouldn't give you too many headaches just to wait an extra sort of 18 hours or so. So Sammy, that's the word that I've had from the REIB. It does say that you're allowed to on the government website, but we're just getting absolute clarification, especially when it comes to who can be allowed in the home, whether we need to ask vendors to leave or whether we need to ask photographers to go by themselves to a property and only have one vendor there. I think there's a couple of logistics that just need to be ironed out just to make sure we're crossing every T and dotting every I. It is a great day for real estate in Metro Melbourne. It is an amazing day. I've had a number of texts from a number of my clients and a number of friends in the space that have said that the inspection inquiries are starting to pile through, which is fantastic news. Now, auction land, you are able to do your remote auctions. You can do your online auctions. So I'm sure that there'll be a few of you guys that will be absolutely rocking and rolling into those remote auctions. Real life shit. Sorry. On-site auctions are still not permitted. So don't go waving the gavel in anger out in public. Make sure you're doing it at your ranch. Offices are still a no-go at this point in time as far as I'm aware. So don't just go piling back into your offices. If you are going to do some virtual auctions, then make sure you can do it from home. All right, gang? So no on-site auctions. But remote auctions are good to go, obviously. If anybody needs any help with any of those, of course, I'm here. I'm ready to rock and go. I'm like pretty much sleeping with my gavel. I think the gavel's sleeping between me and my wife at the minute. I'm that desperate to call an auction, but never mind. So, gang, if you do have any questions, feel free to hit me up. If you don't want to hit up Leah or Gil, and look, let's face it, those guys are getting absolutely piled on at the minute. So if you do want to ask any questions, my number's scrolling across the bottom there, 0451 085 998. I am here for you, gang, still. And a couple of bits of advice that I would perhaps suggest that you crack on with. You should have perhaps done this afternoon, but if not, you really need to be onto it first thing tomorrow morning. If you've got any of your vendors that are either out of authority or that have been on the cusp of signing said authority, you need to get onto it yesterday. You really should have got that all really, really locked in. Because if you didn't, there are going to be eyes wandering. There are absolutely going to be eyes wandering, and there are going to be people chomping at the bit to cut your lunch. Right now, gang, and I'm not saying this lightly, it is literally going to be a case of who wants it the most. Now, it's not to say that we're to go back to our old school ways of hating on everybody in the space. Far from it. But now's the time where you really show how much you do want it. How much of that whinging that has been getting done, how much of it was legit, and how much of it just masked a little bit of laziness that's been creeping in. This is where we're going to find out, my friends, who really wants it the most. All right? So you've got to get on the blower, get things locked away, and make things happen. Please, for the love of God, don't take the piss out of it. Please do not take the mickey out of it. It won't take long, and we know this. It won't take long for the power that is, I won't say the powers that be, because we all know it's pretty much one guy, to just do a U-turn on it. He's been unpredictable before. He's got the potential to be unpredictable again. So do not take the mickey, all right? Make sure you get your buyers or tenants' backs covered with a bit of a written confirmation so that they feel a little bit safer in going to an inspection. Make sure that they remain only 15 minutes long. Please, just make sure you do that. The police will be out in force. There's been real big fines that are being bandied around. I think just under 5K apparently for gatherings that are unnecessary, or bigger gatherings or whatever. So please, just make sure that you've briefed all of your buyers, all of your potential tenants. Make sure that they do not come in convoy like some of them naturally tend to do, because it's no small decision, right? So please make sure that you brief anybody that you're going to see. Please make sure that you go over and above with respect to PPE, with respect to hand sanitizer, with respect to wiping services. Let's not balls it up now by trying to shortcut anything, my friends, all right? So make sure you do it right, but get the bit between your teeth, my friends, and rock and roll, and do it with a great degree of joy, all right? The trouble that I'm concerned about is the fact that people might fall into a little bit of desperation with regards to their actions. And for me, that will absolutely emanate from you like the worst smell in the world. Gang, we have been locked away for a long time. Be happy when you're out and about. Put a massive smile on that dial when you're meeting buyers. Like I said, don't go give them a smooch or anything stupid like that, but please be happy. You should be. You've done a lot to deserve a little bit of leeway, and you've been given it. So don't take the piss, all right? And make sure you do it with a smile, gang. I'm so chuffed for you all. It's really, really cool that Metro's getting able to go out and rock and roll. And please, the last thing that I would suggest, before you go to bed tonight, please write yourself down a bit of a list of things that you have learned about yourself and about your business during this lockdown period. I would have that list on you at all times if I were you, because the last thing that you want to be doing is falling back into bad habits. The last thing that you want to be doing is having a really short memory on how shit this last few months has been. Please don't take it for granted, gang. Please be very, very grateful that we do get to live. It is still the best town in the world. We know that. But let's just treat it like it now. Let's be grateful for where we are. Let's be grateful for what we've got. And then let's go and rock and roll, my friends, with a great degree of positive energy. My friends, thank you for all of the effort that you've put in over the course of the last couple of months. It has been amazing. The REIB have just never seen so much support, and I'm so chuffed for both you and them. Thank you so much to Gil and Leah for their tireless efforts, their ridiculous efforts, both on and off camera, with respect to representation of our profession. It has been tremendous. It has been absolutely brilliant. Okay? And gang, if you're not a part of the REIB, I actually gave my beloved a bit of a slap on the wrist today, because I said to them, that her firm needs to be joining the REIB, and she said, why? We've been getting it for free, which I was like, yeah, that's a bit mean. That's not quite right. And if there's anybody else that's out there that's thinking that, make sure that you change your tune, because ultimately the more people that join the REIB, the stronger it becomes as an industry voice. And my God, have we needed it along this journey. All right, gang, I'm going to head off. Love you and leave you. But please make sure that you have fun, all right? Do some great work with these purchases, with these tenants. Let's make some lives a little bit easier. Let's have it in that context as well, all right? Let's just make sure that we all remember that this might be the only transaction or the only move that these people make in their entire lives. So treat it as such. Have some fun, all right? Do it the right way. All right, my friends, I'm going to be back tomorrow night. From tomorrow night, I've had a load of requests asking me to go back to 9 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. You ask, I shall deliver. So as of tomorrow night, every weeknight, Monday to Friday, it will be 9 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Me answering your questions, whatever they may be. I'm here for you. All right, gang. You guys take care. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Most importantly, though, stay happy. Take it easy.